I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Please.
Objection. Objection. Are we in a common law court? Yes or no? Case dismissed. Case dismissed because you refuse to rebuttal to the question regarding jurisdiction. You cannot proceed without honoring the jurisdiction.
April 26, 2023 will be set for an in-person bench trial in courtroom number 1.
Objection. I will not be showing up. Objection. I will not be showing up. You refuse.
You won't believe what we've got today. One of the most outrageous sovereign citizen moments ever caught on camera. Honestly, I don't know how the judge kept their cool. If you're not familiar, these folks think they can bypass the law using so-called common law loopholes, which, spoiler, don't exist. The judge's patience deserves a medal, but it makes you wonder, how should society handle these situations? Is there a better way to deal with these legal antics? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you love content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, let's dive in.
First of all, are we on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are we under penalty and perjury?
Are we on what, ma'am?
Under penalty and perjury, if you're willing to swear in.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can barely hear you.
I said, is everybody willing to swear in under penalty and perjury?
Ma'am, we're not taking testimony as of yet. Today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and adjourned arraignment pretrial in these matters.
It still has to be placed on a record. He still has to be put under penalty and perjury because he's swearing to an alleged crime against me and holding me accountable. So even though this is just a hearing, it still has to be put on notice for the public as well.
Ma'am, today is the day and time scheduled for the pre-hearing and the arraignment pretrial. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Benita Seeley.
Ms. Seeley, Mr. Battar is the court-appointed attorney assigned to this courtroom for the day. He's indicated that you don't wish to engage his services. Is that correct?
No, let me explain my position. I asked him a simple question about jurisdiction. That's why this hearing has been re-adjourned for today, because the last hearing, none of the attorneys could answer the question in regards to what jurisdiction that we're operating under. So they want to proceed without addressing the jurisdiction, which is a violation of due process. So in order for him to be represent me on any public record, I have to understand what jurisdiction he's operating on.
Pay close attention to this sovereign citizen's main argument, because she's about to spin in circles, dodging every question the judge throws her way. Honestly, major props to the judge for staying calm, because I don't think I could have kept my cool. At this point, it's almost impressive how committed she is to this nonsense. But let's be real. This is a courtroom, not a game of let's pretend the law doesn't exist. Judges ask questions for a reason, and refusing to answer doesn't make you look smart. It just makes you look guilty, clueless, or both. All right, let's dive back in, and tell me, what's your take on the situation? Let me know in the comments.
Ms. Seeley, if you do not wish to use the court-appointed attorney, and you confirm as much to the court right now, Mr. Battar can go back, ma'am, Mr. Battar can go back and do other things that he needs to do this morning. Do you wish to use Mr. Battar's services, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel through some other mechanism?
Under what charge, under which jurisdiction, and then who's bringing the charges against me?
Ma'am, there were citations issued against you in Huron Township for limited access speeding 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. That's a civil infraction. There's count 2, no proof of insurance. And there is the misdemeanor of driving while license not valid or improper license. Do you wish to use the services of the MIDC attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself this morning, or do you wish to retain counsel?
Who are the parties bringing this claim against me? It's a simple question.
I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am. I answered your question, ma'am.
And could you re-answer it? Because I didn't hear it. Who's bringing the charges against me?
The citation that was issued to you was issued by an officer from Huron Township, Freddie Yono. It's the citation that was issued, is signed.
So it's Freddie.
It has his name and his ID number. Ma'am, my question to you is, do you wish to engage the services of the court-appointed attorney, or may I release him to go back to do some other work?
Wait a minute. I have questions before I can answer on. You're trying to get me to
No,
avoid
ma'am.
questions that you
No,
know.
ma'am.
Yes,
No,
it's
ma'am.
a due process violation. Objection. Yes,
Miss
because you're not
Seeley,
hearing me. This is a
Miss
hearing.
Seeley, this is the third and last time I'm asking you. Will you be using Mr. Batars to represent you this morning, or do you wish to retain your private attorney, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I need to understand what jurisdiction we're under.
Mr. Batar, you may return to your breakout rooms to meet with other potential clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I
Ms.
may,
Seeley, do you intend to represent, I'm sorry, Ms. Foley Carter.
I just want we started this case back in July. Ms. Seeley attended her first pretrial. She demanded that the case be dismissed. I declined. I asked that the case be set for a bench trial. Ms. Seeley objected, and Magistrate Hinman advised her to file a motion stating her objection. Since then, she asked Judge Green for her oath of office and then didn't appear for the court dates before Judge Oakley. So this case has been going on for quite some time with no resolution.
Because I'm asking a question and it requires a rebuttal when it's being ignored. You cannot violate the due process. This is a hearing, and any question that I have needs to be answered.
Let me get this straight. She expects all of her questions to be answered, but somehow she doesn't have to answer the judges. Make it make sense. These sovereign citizens keep outdoing themselves with nonsense. The judge is asking one of the simplest questions possible. Does she want an attorney or not? But you'd think she was being asked to solve the hardest math problem on earth. I'll give her this much. At least she has a name. Some sovereign citizens go by things like a living person or flesh and blood human. Yeah, that's a real thing, so she gets one tiny point for that. But everything else? Total train wreck. What's your take? Is she actually convinced by this stuff, or is she just putting on an act? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's dive back in.
You don't get to sit in the capacity of government and ignore the questions that the people have. Someone's bringing a claim against me. My only question is, are we dealing in a commercial or a common law, also known as a record of law, court? That's simple. So are we in a common law court, yes or no?
Marianne, a in-person bench trial date in this matter, please.
Objection. Are we in a common law court, yes or no?
January
Case
23rd
dismissed.
at 11 o'clock.
Case dismissed. Case dismissed because you refuse to rebuttal to the question regarding jurisdiction. You cannot proceed without honoring the jurisdiction. You cannot be in
Ms.
the capacity
Seeley,
of a...
the misdemeanor matter and the two civil infractions that are traveling with it that were issued on April 26, 2023 will be set for an in-person bench trial in courtroom number 1.
Objection. I will not be showing up. Objection. I will not be showing up. You refuse to answer the question of jurisdiction. You're trying to get me into the courtroom so you can take me against my will and lock me up in a cage like an animal. Objection. You do not have jurisdiction over me. You do not have judicial authority in North America. You are working for a municipality called the state of Michigan. You have no jurisdiction. You are an attorney. You work for a corporation. You are in a municipal capacity. You have no authority. You call yourself government. Your position is a public servant.
Miss
I am the objection.
Miss Seeley,
no, you cannot proceed as an attorney. Objection. I will not be showing up in court. I will appeal this matter. Objection.
There is no question pending to you, ma'am. This
Objection.
court will be muting you at this time because the court has muted Ms. Seeley as her responses are not responsive to the matter that is before the court. This matter is being scheduled for trial. If Ms. Seeley wishes to absent herself from that trial, that is her absolute right. That trial date is January 23rd at 11 a.m. That concludes this matter.
Wow, that was intense. This sovereign citizen is about to find out if the courts have jurisdiction over her, and spoiler alert, they probably do. Honestly, she should have been slapped with a contempt charge because, let's be real, she's one of the rudest people I've ever seen in court. The patience the judge showed was next level, so big shout out to her. Also, can we talk about Zoom courts for a second? They really need to start requiring defendants to show their faces. Hiding behind a screen while throwing objections left and right is just wild. There's no control in the courtroom. And let's not forget, as a defendant, saying objection does literally nothing. That's not how the law works. But hey, I guess it makes for great content. This has to be one of the craziest hearings I've reacted to so far, and I'm dying to know what you guys thought. Was she truly clueless, or was she just playing the game to stall? Let me know in the comments. I love reading your thoughts. Honestly, this was super entertaining to watch, even though it was frustrating. I bet the judge did not like this girl at all. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And let me know what other cases you want me to react to. I'll be reading every comment, so drop your suggestions below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Take care.